Hey guys, how's it going? I want to talk about my my big knives addiction, I guess. That's not really what I want to talk about, but it's probably what I should be talking about. I should probably have a Knives Anonymous video at some point. Um, and I am thinking about a collecting video and why do we collect and when is it go from collecting to obsessing, and so that is a topic video that is coming. But today what we have is the Steelcraft series Glimpse. This is from the first run of 100, and I don't know how many they did of these. I didn't double check that. But I've talked about packaging a lot, and they do a good job with their packaging. This is a magnetic, box, which is pretty cool. And their custom ones are very similar to this, but in a white box. A little bit different paperwork, but very similar. Probably the exact same size and whatnot, but a white box, different logo and stuff. So they do packaging really well. And we've talked about packaging before, so I won't go into a lot of details there. But this one, I don't even remember how it came about on Facebook that I bought this. I think it was just in a group, and we were posting some big knife pictures and things like that. And I said, "Oh, that's a cool one." And next thing I know, I got a private message saying it's for sale if you want it. And we went back and forth, negotiated on the price, and 2 days later, it was at my house. Did I need another Big Knives? No. Did I need another Glimpse? No. I've got Glimpse. I got 2 Glimpses already. This one really sucked me in because of the black and the blue. So my brother recently retired, three-ish years ago. I think in December it'll be 3 years, or will it be 4 years? 3, 6. I think it's going to be 4 years in December. He's going to have retired from the sheriff's office. And some of my extended family is also law enforcement. One of my best friends is law enforcement. I have worked with law enforcement both at a local and federal level for much of my career for the last 30 years. So the thin blue line and all of that stuff is very important to me. So when I saw this one come up the other day, I kind of had to have it, and I got a great price. Fine, it's awesome. There's a lot of things I love about this knife, and there's a couple of things that I don't love. So let's roll through some of the specs real quick, okay? And I'll put a link in the description to my Beg playlist, because I have a video of this one and a couple of the other Begs I'm going to pull out as we kind of go through some comparisons. So I'll just run through these specs very quickly here. It's 5 1/8 closed, 9 7/8, 3.75 inch blade, S35 VN. Blade thickness is 0.156, and they do a great job on the blade, and we'll talk about that. Overall thickness is 0.663 minus the clip. So right off the bat, that's something I don't love, and we'll talk more about that. But it does run on bearings. Okay. Now, the Steelcraft series is their offshore line. And so, yes, it's made in China at We Knives. This was introduced at the Blade Show 2017. These are discontinued. You can find some maybe on Knife Ship Free. Has a lot of Big Knives inventory often. And you can find them on the secondary market. So, not a brand new knife. Sorry. It is what it is, okay? The Glimpse is a model that I didn't fall in love with when I first saw it. I was much more of a Bodega fan. And for those of you that are not super familiar with, here is one of the early on Bodegas. This blade shape and design I fell in love with. This one I was kind of like, okay, not my favorite. Then my buddy sent me this one because it had an issue, and I was going to go see Mark Begg over at the California Custom Shop, and so I grabbed it from my buddy and took it to Mark to get worked on. While I had it for a little bit before going to see the guys over there at the shop, I kind of started to understand the appeal of the glimpse model. So, long story short, this one got fixed. I sent it back to the owner. The owner was like, hey, I don't love it anymore. I'm selling some stuff because I'm buying a different thing. Do you want to buy it? So I bought it back and it shipped back to me. I just, he should have said that before I shipped it to him, but hey, that's okay. I think I had a couple other knives to ship back to him. So the glimpse model really kind of grew on me. Now, what I love about this is the colors. And let's zoom in because this is a completely G10 frame with the blue G10 inlay. And it's like a layered G10 because this is it's one piece of G10. There is no seam. It's not that you can't feel the seam. There is no seam. This is a solid piece of G10 that's black and blue. And so when they shape it and they mill it out, the blue shows through. I love that. Nested liner. It is milled out inside on both sides for weight saving. It is a liner on the show side also. It's a really cool design. We Knives does a fantastic job. Runs on ceramic IKBS. As you can see, the IKBS symbol there and a ceramic ball in the pocket clip signifies that it's ceramic bearings. Nice backspacer. I mean, that part of it's great. The blade, S35 VN, they do a really nice job kind of crowning the spine, which is awesome, and it's all the way around down to the lock bar. I think that's just a very cool machining detail that, yeah, takes an extra minute or two, but really not super intense and pricey, but just makes that big of a difference. Sometimes it's the little details that just make a lot of difference. The big lanyard hole, I could care less about that. What I don't love is this G10 is super slick. It's super slippery. Yeah, you wouldn't know that from the pictures and the other things I've read. I didn't watch a lot of videos of this today. I only got this a couple days ago. So I didn't watch many videos on it because I just wanted to do my own review on this. So maybe other people have mentioned that, and that's a known thing. But yeah, it's a little bit. Thank goodness there's this fuller groove, if you will, in the handle, because when you go to deploy it, you can put your thumb in that fuller to really make sure it doesn't fly out of your hand. It's too slippery. It needs a little bit of texture. And the other thing I don't love is how thick it is. The Steelcraft Bodega, which I did not bring out, I should have grabbed one, or one of my regular Bodegas, it's much thinner. Much like, well, we can compare it to the Glimpse 6.0. This is the 6.0. This is the 7.0 Steelcraft version. So they've made several different iterations of the Glimpse. You can see how much thicker the Steelcraft version is. It's noticeably different. I mean, it's much, much bigger. And the blade thickness is still the same. All of that, the other dimensions are the same. But the thickness is, not double, but massively thicker. So it feels okay in the hand, but it really takes up room in the pocket. And if we go back to one of the early bodegas, it's the same thickness as the glimpse, which is okay. I mean, it's not a deal breaker for me. I just was not expecting it to be this thick when my other glimpses are very thin, relatively speaking. And if we go one step up to the Begatti with its 1/4-inch blade, it's literally the same thickness. I mean, the Begatti is slightly bigger than this Steelcraft glimpse. Now, the Begatti was really made as a joke because of all the other overbuilt knives out there. Todd and Mark Begg decided they could make a big overbuilt themselves as kind of a joke to some of the other guys that were out there making 1/4-inch blades. And little did they know they were going to take off like a wildfire. So there's a ton of them out there. There's only one of these Dragon Lady bodegas out there, and there's only one bodega with a black blade, and that would be this one. And I did a whole video on this, and it'll be in the playlist. So all in all, I was surprised by the thickness because the Steelcraft bodega is roughly the same size as this glimpse. So I was very surprised to get this in hand and have it be so thick. And my biggest gripe is how smooth the G10 is. There's no texturing on this whatsoever, other than this fuller groove and some jimping on the back. This one also has no texturing and is smooth, but because of the titanium and the twill, silver twill inlay, it's smooth but not as slick, if that makes any sense. It's really hard to describe in words and even show on the video. It's really a texture, a touch thing. But this one I've never really felt as though it was going to slip out of my hand in deploying, in using, or anything. Whereas this one, this one bothers me just a little bit. And this one's G10, but this is fully textured here, and this is not going anywhere in your hand. This one is locked in good. So all in all, I mean, we did a fantastic job. I know this is the first run of 100 because, well, it says so on the blade. And my understanding in reading what I did read is there's only 10 of the blue and black colorway. So again, I kind of had to buy it. Did I need another knife? In general, no. Did I need another Begg knife? No. I don't know what to tell you guys. It's a problem. I may need an intervention. But I needed this to kind of work towards my Begg knives set. I did not have a Steelcraft glimpse. I think I have one of every model now. Multiples of models. But I do not have a mini glimpse or a mini bodega, and those are both Steelcrafts. So now I'm going to have to get a mini bodega and a mini glimpse. So I'm going to have to hit up my buddy Phil, who I know has a very special mini glimpse mini bodega. I've seen it. I was with him when he bought it at the California Custom Shop. So I may have to hit him up and get that now to kind of complete the quest of the collection. Anyway, there you go, guys. The Steelcraft series Begg Knives Glimpse 7.0. That was the point of this video. So I hope you enjoyed it and got to see a couple of other things that are pretty cool. Let me know your thoughts down below. But yeah, they did a fantastic job. My only big gripe is just how smooth it is. So thanks for watching, guys. I know I kind of went on a little long on this one, but I appreciate your time. Thanks. Have a great day, And we will see you tomorrow.